Come join me on my day trip in Sedona, Arizona. My friend and I started out in the Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village. This was actually my first time going here, and if you're into arts and crafts, little locally owned stores and architecture, I highly recommend that you make the stop in. They even have a local brewery called the Oak Creek Brewery and Grill. The buildings in here really remind me of older Spanish towns, which is really cool. There is so much to do just in this little spot, from art galleries to shops, food, jewelry, really anything you can imagine. Even if you're just in the mood to take a stroll and enjoy the outdoors while window shopping, I would highly recommend stopping by. Vinny showed me a little more around the beaten path, and we accidentally stumbled upon a bunch of apple trees. As a native Floridian who really only saw oranges growing on trees, this was definitely really cool to me.
Oh, look at that one.
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that one might be...
If you're wondering, yes, I absolutely ate the apple.
How's it?
It's good.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It tastes like a Granny Smith apple.
I'm sure. Wow.
How could I not, you know? We kept walking down towards the creek and I saw all these pretty flowers and decided to start recording when...
I should lay down in it, or like fully, and you can like sprinkle more over me.
He wouldn't actually let me do that to him. But we did make it to the creek. This is Oak Creek, which runs through most, if not all, of Sedona. There are so many places to actually hike and get into the water, but we were definitely not prepared for that at all. But we did happen to find some hammocks while we were walking around.
You know how to get a hammock?
Yeah, I do, but...
Didn't look like it.
He may or may not be referring to this clip right here. I tried to race him to the hammock and most definitely flipped right out of it. This was not the most Saraphine friendly hammock, but once I got settled in, it was great to just lay down with the trees over me as it started to sprinkle. We decided to trek back through the creek a little bit and saw this little waterfall. I love waterfalls, and it was really cool just to randomly find one. Whether or not this was on private property is beside the point. We hiked over the creek and decided to head back to the car. Before we left, we saw this little bird, which absolutely wanted nothing to do with me. We tried to hit up Slide Rock for a little bit before going back into town for some food, but once we got there, it was $30 per car for entry. Definitely not worth it if you're planning on going for just like an hour or two late in the day. We headed into town to get some food and found this place called the Vault Uptown. Y'all, 10 out of 10, I highly recommend. I got this sweet and spicy margarita with hibiscus. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then we shared their trash can nachos and the honey buffalo wings. I did not take videos of that, but here is a video of my margarita with the tahini rim and then a picture of the food as well. Last stop of the day was Airport Rock. This was the first for me again, and I absolutely loved being surrounded by all the red rocks. It was a perfectly cloudy day, so it wasn't too hot. The hike was only about half a mile, if that, and super easy for an experienced or beginner hiker. This location in particular is supposed to be one of the 4 vortexes in Sedona. I don't know, I had my Moldavite on and I didn't really feel much, but I also wasn't trying. I did a couple of headstands for some pictures. Then he whipped out his drone and got some great footage, which will be posted once he sends it to me. But overall, it was a 10 out of 10 day, and be on the lookout for more travel videos.